My name is Chelsea Norton, and I'm 39 years old. 22 years ago, my parents kicked me out in 11th grade for being pregnant, calling me a failure and slamming the door in my face. Today, they showed up at my doorstep in Austin, pounding like they owned the place, demanding to see their grandchild. I opened the door, my hand steady despite the rage boiling inside, and told them words that froze their breath. What child? What are you talking about? Their faces drained of color as those words hit like a slap they had long deserved. But that moment was just the beginning. I'd spent 22 years building something they could never touch, waiting for this exact day to dismantle everything they held dear. Back in high school, when I showed my father the pregnancy test, his face went cold as marble. "You're no daughter of ours anymore," he said, adjusting his watch like I was some failed business venture. My mother didn't yell. She simply said, "We expected better than this mess," and turned our family photo face down before giving me 10 minutes to leave. I packed what little I could, a few clothes, some cash, and the necklace I'd hidden, and walked out into the Texas night. No longer anyone's daughter, Derek Sloan. The boy who swore he'd love me forever became another ghost. When I told him about the baby, he went silent. Days later, his number was blocked. His parents' lawyers sent me a letter threatening legal action if I ever contacted him again. His future at college mattered more than the future we created. And just like that, I was alone. The streets of Austin were merciless. I slept on benches in Zilker Park, clutching my bag and rationing what little food I had. Each rejection hardened me. My parents had discarded me like trash, and Derek's silence finished the job. But one night, beneath the park's dim streetlights, I made a promise to myself. I would make them pay. Not with blind rage, but with precision. That's when Kayla Rhodes appeared. A widow in her 70s, elegant even in the morning chill, walking her old dog, Max. She saw me curled up on a bench, offered me breakfast, and changed my life. Her eyes were sharp but kind. She saw through my lies and offered warmth without pity. Her car smelled of lavender, her home of safety. She gave me a place to stay, but more importantly, she gave me purpose. Kayla owned a chain of boutique hotels in downtown Austin. She hired me as a hostess and taught me everything. Reading people, managing staff, handling conflict, balancing books. "Build yourself so strong they regret letting you go," she'd say over morning coffee. And I did. I absorbed her lessons like oxygen, learning how power moved in silence. Through Kayla, I met Shaw Barrett, her lawyer, calm, intelligent, and impossible to fool. He taught me about legal protection, trusts, and contracts designed to outsmart greed. Then there was Shannon Lyle, the hotel's IT expert, who showed me how to trace digital footprints and vanish online. They became my quiet circle, mentors and allies who understood that revenge is best executed through patience and precision. When I miscarried, Kayla was the one who held me through the pain. Weeks later, she introduced me to the idea of adoption. We visited shelters together until I met him, a baby with curious eyes and an unbreakable calm. I named him Austin, after the city that had destroyed and remade me. From the beginning, I raised him not just with love, but with strategy. He was my redemption and my future. Austin grew into a brilliant boy. At 8, he was building software. By 10, he was solving problems experts couldn't. I nurtured his talent with purpose. Every success he achieved was a foundation for something larger, something that would one day draw my parents back, blinded by greed. Kayla saw what I was building. She helped me fortify it. Her will was airtight, with clauses that barred abandoned bloodlines from claiming a single dollar. We recorded messages, legal documents, and video statements, everything we'd need if my past came clawing back. When she passed, she left behind more than her hotels. She left me her legacy, her connections, and her armor. Years later, Austin's software company went viral. His algorithms revolutionized hotel management. His name spread across local tech sites. That's when the first package arrived. A sleek tablet with a note in my parents' handwriting. "For our talented grandson," I smiled. The bait had worked. I returned the package with a shaky, emotional note, pretending that it was too painful to reconnect. I wanted them to think I was vulnerable. Shannon monitored their next moves. She tracked their searches: Texas family law, grandparent rights, how to reclaim estranged relatives. Their desperation left digital fingerprints everywhere. Then Derek reappeared. His startup had failed and he was desperate. He started talking to my parents again, plotting ways to reunite and leverage Austin's success. Shannon intercepted everything: emails, calls, messages about inheritance, lawsuits, and manipulation. I played along, sending polite refusals, knowing each no would drive them closer to madness. Next, I planted seeds of chaos. Anonymous emails to my parents hinting Derek was stealing their money. Anonymous messages to Derek suggesting my parents planned to cut him out. Within days, they were accusing each other. Every paranoid argument was logged, every call recorded, Shannon's screens filled with evidence. Their greed was now devouring itself. When they finally filed a lawsuit for grandparent visitation and inheritance rights, Shaw moved quickly. Shannon intercepted the filings and exposed errors. Their signatures contradicted old legal documents, including one from 22 years ago where they had renounced all parental rights to me and any offspring. The hypocrisy was complete. Then came the day of the Austin Tech Summit. Austin, now 21, was the keynote speaker. My parents and Derek sat in the front row, dressed for victory. They didn't know the storm about to hit them. Austin began his speech about loyalty, innovation, and the meaning of family. Then the big screen lit up with a video, Kayla's old recording. Her voice echoed through the hall. Family is who stands by you, not who claims you when you shine. Murmurs filled the room. Then Shaw stepped forward with a folder and displayed my parents' signatures, the abandonment document. The audience gasped. Shannon's slides followed. Emails, messages, and chat logs revealing their scheme to exploit Austin's fame. Every lie they'd told was exposed. Then I stood, calm, precise, unshakable. You demanded to see your grandchild, I said. But there is no grandchild. You drove me to a miscarriage. Austin is adopted. Not your blood, not your legacy. The room went silent. My parents' faces turned ashen. Security stepped in as Shaw read out restraining orders. Cameras flashed. The entire event streamed online, their humiliation captured forever. Within days, the video went viral. Patrick Norton was removed as chairman from his real estate firm. 3 contracts canceled overnight. Andrea's social circle disintegrated. They sold their mansion and moved to a small condo in Arizona. Derek wasn't spared either. The IRS found $500,000 in hidden funds thanks to Shannon's quiet tip. He faced criminal charges. None of them ever recovered. Meanwhile, I launched the Kayla Rhodes Foundation, a $1 million program to support single mothers with housing and education. At the opening, surrounded by women who reminded me of my younger self, I proposed to Shaw. He said yes. Austin cheered, proud and free. Now, when people mention the Norton name, it's as a cautionary tale. Greed cost them everything. I didn't just win. I built something lasting. Revenge wasn't the fire that consumed me. It was the forge that shaped me. So if you've ever been betrayed, remember this. Don't waste your life chasing payback. Build yourself so strong that their downfall becomes inevitable. Justice doesn't always roar. Sometimes it arrives quietly, in the success of the person they tried to destroy.